Manchester City for Manchester United 1, and I want to take a certain direction when I speak about this game, because we all know about Man City, we all know about the quality they possess and everything around that, so we don't need to speak about that. We need to speak about Manchester United. Now, if you were to ask anyone at the start of the season that on the 7th of March, Manchester United will be battered 4-1 away from home, be sitting in 5th place, would be sitting 1 point off top 4, but the team in 4th having 3 games in hand, I wouldn't believe you, because it seemed pre-season, and I'm not saying that I necessarily agreed with this, but it seemed pre-season that United were two things: a certainty for top 4 and potentially on for a title challenge. They had just signed Ronaldo, everything seemed to be going right, but something happened, and we don't necessarily know what. We can take a couple of guesses at it, but we don't know what's happened in the last, pretty much since the new year, to have derailed United under Rangnick. And obviously we didn't know that Ole was going to be sacked. Obviously not. And we didn't know the circumstances in which he would leave the club. But for reports to be saying that Ronaldo wasn't injured but refused to be in the squad because he wasn't in the starting 11, there's just something intangibly wrong with that club. And I agree with the sentiment that the fish rots from the head down, but you can't blame it just on the board, because there's something going on in that playing group where something's not clicking. And we need to look at where United want to be. Now, United don't want to be in the top 4, in terms of they don't want to be a top 4 team like Arsenal were between 2005 and 2018. They don't want to be just a top 4 team. They want to be challenging, right? So where do United need to be? Or what do they need to get? Or how do they become the United of 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011 again? For me, it's going to take a while, because it's almost as if they've rebuilt, but they've just stuffed it up. They've stuffed up a rebuild. And if you look at the squad that was left for David Moyes after Sir Alex, needed major overhauling. It was aging, it was dysfunctional, and that is more of a credit to Sir Alex than anything else, because if Sir Alex won a league with that team, that just shows he's the best manager ever, pretty much. Or if not, he's in the top 2, right? So it's this elitist mentality of we're Manchester United, we're the best team in England, we're the best team in the world, we're not going to be rebuilding. They're too proud as a football club to rebuild. And you look at Arsenal, who after Wenger tried to do that we're not rebuilding thing, it didn't work. Emery got sacked, and they were like, okay, we need to flesh this out. We need to gut this team out, get the youth in, get a young, hungry, exuberant manager, and look where they are already into their rebuild. United need that. And for me, what it's going to take is massive departures. Paul Pogba has to leave. Cristiano Ronaldo has to leave, in my opinion. They need to do something with Harry Maguire, whether that means get rid of him or something, I don't know. And they need to get a manager who is willing to be in a project and is hungry enough to get United where they need to get to. For me, that's Erik ten Hag. They need to get Erik ten Hag, and with Ralf Rangnick moving up into a backroom role, That's the perfect foundation. Rangnick, maybe not as a coach, but as a footballing mind, Ralph Rangnick is second to none. And with Erik ten Hag dictating tactics, doing all that managerial stuff, that's a fantastic foundation. Now it's onto the players. Massive departures, and you need to breed through the likes of Elanga. Give Rashford a role and not put the burden on him, but put that little bit of pressure on him. Say, hey, you're going to be the talisman this season. We're going to play you up front, or we're going to play you on the left wing the whole season. Win us games. Get us double digits in goals and assists this season. Something like that. Jadon Sancho. I think you can build that team around Bruno Fernandes. You can build that team around him. You can build it around Rafael Varane. And I've been very critical of Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the past, but there's something you can build on him there. They've got pieces. They just need to put it all together, and it's going to take massive egos and massive players, big names, to leave, in my opinion. And it's going to take a while, but United can get back to where they need to be in a blink of an eye, right? But it's going to need to take a rebuild, and it's going to need to take some patience, in my opinion. And they've got the flesh, they've got like the skeleton of the side. They just need to flesh it out, and they're not far off, but they need to get it right, because they've got it wrong for the best part of a decade. They need to get it right, and that's where I don't have faith in the board, or if anyone in high positions at that club. And then we can talk about the Glazers forever. If you want to put the perfect like blueprint out for how to fix United, you get rid of the Glazers like without even thinking about it. But that's not how it works. And the likelihood is you're going to have to figure out a way to win a title with them in charge. So unless United fans want to resign themselves to the fact that they might never win a league with the Glazers in charge, then be my guest. But I think it's possible. You just need to things to click, and I don't think anything has clicked just yet.